All right, let's get going here. Hello, everyone. I'm both recording this for YouTube as well as streaming on Twitch. So, welcome to everybody that is joining on either platform. This one's going to be a fun one. This is going to be Slam Fest 2021, aka BRICKFEST 2021. I'm going to guaranteed brick most of these items. I have 15 wind forces. Some of them good, some of them not so good, but it's all the same. We'll see what we can do here. Hopefully we get at least one godly corruption somewhere in here. F Grandfather, really nice one. F Templar's Might with 8 skills. Another Templar's Might, Storm Shield, 2 throw, an upped Vamp Gaze. Hopefully we'll get three open sockets. Gavel of Pain, 30 Maras, Cat's Eye, etc., etc. We have a bunch of, and 3 Heart of the Wolves, Wisp Protector. A bunch of really good stuff to slam today. I'm going to try to do a little bit of education at the same time. So first, before we just slam, I'm just going to talk about the weapon corruptions, what we're looking for on the wind force, and more specifically, I'm actually going to do another video in the future that I'm going to do a tier maker video where I classify all of the potential weapon corruptions specifically for the wind force, but also I think it'll just help with general corruption knowledge. So I'm going to pull this up quickly. So these are all of the corruptions that we can get on a weapon. And so obviously the 2 that we're looking for on the wind force, number 1 is this one right here, 20 increased attack speed with 80 to 20 or 80 to 120 enhanced damage. That is the creme de la creme that we can get. And then the second best one that we can get is the 250 to 350 attack rating with 80 to 120 enhanced damage. These other ones, guys, like I keep trying to tell people, Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow are not that good. And neither is Ignore Target Defense. Not that good for wind forces. A lot of people get upset when I try to tell them that. I don't know why. It's just not that good. So just to clarify, Crushing Blow, there is a ranged penalty, so you get 50% of the Crushing Blow value that you would of a melee character, and also Crushing Blow was just nerfed in PD2 to begin with, so we don't want the Crushing Blow. Deadly Strike, I mean, it's okay, but it's not great, and again, I've said this in previous videos, but the way that Deadly Strike works, your passive crit will roll first, and then your Deadly Strike will roll. So in the math that I've used before, I have a 71% chance to passive crit. In that 29% chance that I don't, then it rolls Deadly Strike. So for instance, if you use a High Lords that has 23% chance to Deadly Strike, it actually ends up being about 6% chance to Deadly Strike. It's just not that good, and that's why that's not one of the top ones that we want today. So I'm going to close this. Hopefully that was a little bit of education, and we're going to start slamming some wind forces. Now, another thing to talk about, when slamming items, and I'm going to try to say this as clearly as possible, unless the best possible corruption is max sockets, you want to use a puzzle box first. And I'll explain the reasoning why behind that. So when you corrupt an item, you have a 50% chance of rolling a mod, you have a 25% chance of rolling sockets, and you have a 25% chance of bricking the item. When it already has sockets in it, it changes that to 75% chance to roll a mod and 25% chance to brick the item. So again, we'll use the example of the wind force again. We want one of these mods. We don't want sockets because then that eliminates our chance of getting one of these godly mods. So for the best ones that I have, these top 5 wind forces, I'm going to puzzle box them first. Again, you want a puzzle box for four sockets, and then you want to try to slam something great on it. If it doesn't get 4 sockets, I'm still going to slam it anyway, and we'll just see what happens. So I'll close this off, and so we'll dive into some of these wind forces. So here's a 320 ED, very high, pretty, obviously a pretty desirable roll. We're going to puzzle box it. We got 2 sockets, not great. However, we can always redeem it with a godly slam. So we bricked it. BRICKFEST 2021 has commenced. I love it. That's exactly kind of how I thought it would go. Here's a 303. So again, with wind forces in general, you want to stick to probably 310 ED. as a base, and they can get really bad. I think I have a 253. Like even if I slam something godly on this, it's still going to be just comparable to something that we could slam with a high base and a not so good corruption. So we're going to puzzle box this one as well. Okay, we got 3 sockets. If we get something godly, it would still be worth quite a bit, and we bricked it again. Okay, this is the exact start that I thought I was going to have, but here we go, boys. This is my best one. I actually bought this one unID'd. I accidentally ID'd it. It's 1 ED off perfect, so hopefully maybe this will be the one. Okay, we got 2 sockets. Off to a great start here, boys, and we bricked it. So this is awesome. Okay, next up we have a 296. So we'll puzzle box this one and 3 sockets, and we bricked it. Okay, so we're literally 4 for 4 on bricking windforces. Is actually kind of impressive. Like the odds are so stacked against any of this happening, but all that means is that eventually one of these is going to be godly. That or okay, so we got increased attack speed. It's a decent corruption. Obviously, we don't want 2 sockets. This is not going to be sufficient for us to want to keep hold on to this item. I am gonna hold on to. Sorry, I'm gonna have to just reshuffle my inventory a little bit. I'm gonna hold on to everything, and I'm gonna give all this stuff away to some of the newer players that asked me for help on my. A lot of people watch my YouTube content, message me on Discord, asking for some help. And typically, if I have items to give, I definitely try to give those over. So, so let's get into some good ones. I'm out of puzzle boxes, so probably with the grandfather, like this is a situation where the best corruption is a 6 open socket, so we wouldn't want to puzzle box this one anyway, even though we could get 4 sockets. So we really want 4, 5, 6 sockets would be great for this. But given my track record thus far, maybe it's not going to happen. So we have, so we got an ED slam. Not bad. Next stop for this would be to puzzle it. Obviously, if we puzzle this, we would be hoping for 4 open sockets. Maybe somebody on my friends list on Discord can message me if they have a puzzle box that they can drop into this game, and I'll puzzle on stream. Of course, I'll pay it back, whoever that is. So let's go back. So let's just try to keep organized our slammed items over here. This is a really good one. And so let's just talk quickly. I'll pull up what these corruptions can look like now. And for this armor in particular, it's ethereal. It does not have indestructible mods. We really want it to roll indestructible. And there's, I think, 2 ways that can happen. 1, it can just either be the straight up indestructible mod, or 2, and this is what we really want under the rare mods, indestructible with enhanced defense. Now that would be obviously the best case scenario. So even though we're likely going to brick it, let's hope we don't. Okay, so we got 1 socket, not what we wanted. And again, you want, like in pretty much all these situations, you really want a mod. 3 open sockets would have been pretty good here, because that would have, we could have taken 1 slot to use the Zod, and then we'd have 2 open sockets, which, honestly, this is a pretty viable PvP armor for any melee duelers. It's actually what I use on my Zeal Pally, is an F Templar's Might. It has 2 sockets. One of them I've filled with a melee jewel, and the other has a Zod in it. So this isn't terrible, but obviously not what we were hoping for either. So for 2 throw, now this is a pretty popular armor for throw barbs, and a lot of people just want 3 sockets on this. Another great one would just be +1 skills, and then you puzzle it and hope for 2 sockets. And that like I said, a lot of people are using this for the throw barb. The deadly strike is pretty nice. It's not my favorite armor for a throw barb. Everybody knows me. I love the Tyrael's Might, but so let's see what we can do here. I did last time I slammed a 2 throw. I self-slammed 3 open sockets, so unlikely to happen again. We got a cold resist, not very great. This one's, again, I'll give it away, but, nothing to write home about. So I'll do one more piece of armor, and then we'll go back to slamming wind forces. So Templar's Might. Oh, sorry, I still have this overlay. So anyway, yeah, on that two throw, I slammed plus 30 cold resist. Not what I was looking for on this one. Templar's Might is more of a mercenary armor. However, it does still obviously have a bit of merit in PvP. Just because you don't use a mercenary in PvP, so the Might aura is another way to get a lot of damage. So in this situation, maybe plus to all skills, maybe something with enhanced defense would be pretty nice. I mean, this is more of a melee dueling armor, so hopefully we can slam something good here. And we bricked it. It's just how it's going today, boys. I guess we'll do one more weapon. And so this is F Gavel of Pain. I think best possible corruption here would be 6 open sockets. This can be upped from a Martel Defer to a Thunder Maul. Let's make sure. So, guys, here's another important thing when you slam. Depending on the item type. So, for instance, I'll use this as an example. Vamp Gaze is normally a Grim Helm. A Grim Helm can only get 2 sockets. So I've actually upped this, and now that it's a Bone Visage, it can get 3 sockets. So just quickly before I slam this, I want to make sure that a Martel Defer can get 6 sockets. If it can't, this needs to be upped before we slam it. So what we'll do here is go to ariatsummit.com or just Google Ariat Summit. It is the absolute best resource for all things Diablo 2. PD2 obviously has a couple of changes, but just like structural things like this don't really change. So go to Ariat Summit, look up exceptional weapons, which I will do here. This is oh, thank you. Somebody brought me a puzzle box. That's great. This is a mace class. So we'll go to exceptional maces, and a Martel Defer can get 6 sockets. So great, we'll slam it. Hopefully we get 6 sockets. And we got enhanced damage with a life leech secondary mod. So pretty good. And again, we'll, if we were really committed to making this Gavel of Pain work, we would try to puzzle box it, and we'll go from there. So somebody was nice enough to drop off a puzzle box for me, so I'm going to puzzle that grandfather. And guys, we haven't had much luck so far, so hopefully we get 4 sockets with the puzzle box here, and we did. So this has turned out to be pretty nice. When you think about what most people would do with the sockets, most people would put an Ohm Rune in it, 50% enhanced damage. So, we started with a 242 enhanced damage base. If we had got 6 sockets, we could have increased that to, with Ohm Runes for another 100 enhanced damage, which would have got us to 342. So while we're not quite there, we're still pretty happy with this result. We got ED, we got the 4 sockets, and this is definitely something worth using. To be honest, this is a pretty solid weapon for any Whirlwind Barb, or I think that's really all I can think of using it for right now. Anyways, guys, that's probably the best one so far. And here's another trick, guys. You can actually blind slam something. So the wind force does not need to be identified before you corrupt it. It will actually, when you corrupt, it will identify it and then roll at the same time. So if we do get an ED base, we won't know what the base is. Doesn't really matter because we're doing it anyway. So in this case, we got requirements minus 47%. So not a great roll. I mean, it's not terrible, but I mean, I guess it's good on the strength front. But again, it's just not really what we want in general. You kind of want enhanced damage, as a baseline. And then, maybe one of those, even like life leech or life after each kill or something would just be better than this. I mean, it does save you a lot of strength, but you're going to be pumping all your points into dexterity anyway. So continue on. We'll try to do another 5 wind forces, and then we'll do some of these other items. So this time we got minus to enemy lightning resist. This is an absolutely useless mod. This one will go to charity as well. We are having some pretty bad luck today. Oh, 10 faster cast rate. Absolutely terrible. This is another garbage mod. As you know, Zons don't rely on faster cast rate whatsoever. So continue on. This one open socket. So again, this situation here is what I was talking about before. This is why you want to puzzle things before you slam, because in this scenario, not only did I not get 4 sockets, but I didn't get any useful mod at all. So this bow is pretty much entirely useless. And really, if you're considering making a multi-shot Amazon, this really isn't going to cut it. Like, you want something better, especially this late in the season. It's not going to be hard to come by something that's a little bit better than this. So this identified very low, 255, and slammed increased attack speed. Now, this is kind of a useful mod, but I'm going to be honest, hitting the increased attack speed breakpoints with a boson is pretty easy. And again, if you haven't watched my boson guide, I highly recommend you do. A lot of people, I think, hopefully get a lot of value out of it. And definitely we'll run you through the IS breakpoints, and you'll see how easy it is to hit with pretty standard gear. So we've done now 10 wind forces. We bricked 4 of them, which is obviously above average. You have a 25% chance. So really at this point, I shouldn't have bricked more than 2.5 of these, but we started out with 4 straight bricks, so I guess we're kind of redeeming ourselves here, but still nothing godly to speak of yet. So we're going to go back into items, and I'll just kind of bring you through some of these items. So Storm Shield, this is obviously pretty popular for Javazons for starters, and I think for melee dueling, this is a consideration always, just because of the physical damage taken reduced by 20 to 28%. Obviously, you want on the higher end, but just as a little educational tidbit, PDR maxes out at 50%. So if you're doing melee dueling, and obviously you want to cut that in half, you'd want to use something like a Storm Shield in combination with a Dungos and maybe a Crown of Ages or something, and maybe that gets you to 50%. So ultimately, what we're looking for here is either +1 skills, which we would then want to puzzle into 2 sockets, or ideally we would get three sockets. So again, we got 1 socket, not so great. For this, Vamp Gaze, this is a great helm for 3 open sockets. I mean, this just has a lot of very desirable mods on it. Mana Leech, Life Leech, PDR, all great. I did upgrade this because a Bone Visage can get 3 sockets, whereas a Grim Helm only gets 2. So we'll hopefully get 3 sockets on this, and we got 1 socket. So, I mean, this is this is what happens when you slam items. You're obviously taking a large risk. This is late in the season, not feeling too bad about losing any of these items, but obviously we're hoping for something pretty godly here. So Atma's Well, this is used by a couple of casters. It does have 25 cast rate on it, so there's a couple of mods that we would like here. +1 skills would be nice as a starter, and then again, you'd want to puzzle it for 2 sockets. 10 faster cast rate would be another one, and again, you'd want to puzzle it for 2 sockets, or just getting 3 open sockets on this would be pretty nice. And we got PDR 6. Now, because you're a caster, you're probably not really desiring PDR, so all good. So let's do War Trap. So there's a couple of interesting options for us here. One, we could get just more Magic Find, which is a great mod. Obviously, I think you can get 50 on the boot itself, and then I think you can just get 30 as a maximum, maybe 40 with the corruption, but all told, that'd be a lot of Magic Find. So here we go. We ID'd it, 37, not bad. And then other options that we could get would be Cannot Be Frozen. That's a really good one on a lot of boots, guys. So when you're slamming boots, look out for the Cannot Be Frozen. They instantly become worth quite a bit if you get it on Gore Riders, War Travs, Water Walks, Sandstorm Treks, I don't know if I already said Gore Riders, but all of those are great for Cannot Be Frozen. And in this case, we got more enhanced defense with the Indestructible mod. That is what we were hoping for on these boots. I brought a pair of tier haunch. They are perfect. So I was hoping for this exact mod, the Indestructible with enhanced defense on these boots. Unfortunately, that means I'm probably not going to get it on this pair. Let's find out if we can roll a rare mod back to back, and we did not. Just more fire resist on this. Okay. 30 Maris. So there's a couple of things that we would hope for here. The number one being all plus to all skills. That is the creme de la creme. That's what we're definitely going for, and we bricked it. It's all good. Crown of Ages. Now, there's a couple of things we would want here. Now, again, this is a very good melee PvP item. What you might want to see here is more PDR. Would be a great slam. +1 to all skills would be pretty good. So let's see what we get. And we bricked it. So we're back into brick mode. Guys, this is an item I found early in the ladder. I always kept it because back in vanilla D2, the volcano druid the tornado druid is very popular. This back on PD2 or on D2 vanilla would have been fantastic. Now, you could have had 3 to plus tornado. This is just a very nostalgic item for me personally. First of all, everybody loves the antler aesthetic. 10 faster hit recovery. It could have had 5 NATO with +2 skills with 3 tornado. It has life. It has 2 sockets, guys. Again, if I had found this on vanilla D2, I would have been extremely rich. And one of the cool things about corruptions, and I said this in one of my last videos, if there was ever that if it just had this one mod, corrupting it is your chance to get it. So this, obviously hoping for +1 to all skills. We'll see what happens. And we got poison resist. So not so great. I was just going to keep it on non-ladder. And if there was ever a resurgence of the tornado druid, then I was obviously hoping to keep that. So we're going to go back into wind forces now. Some of these are pretty low, but guys, let's hope for a godly corruption. I can still pull something out of the hat here. And again, we're really looking for that ED-IS corruption or the AR ED combination. So we have once again bricked another wind force. Not so great. On this one, we got attacker takes damage. Another really garbage mod, something that we don't want, especially on Amazon. You're not getting hit too often. You definitely don't want attacker takes damage. Okay, for this one, we got more increased attack speed. Again, touched on this earlier. It's not a terrible mod, but you definitely want it in conjunction with enhanced damage. Damage is the most important thing on a wind force. The IS is easily made up elsewhere. So again, not a terrible mod, but just not what we're looking for in this scenario. If we were to puzzle box this for 4 sockets, who knows? Maybe it would be pretty good, but we'll continue on. Guys, we got 2 more to go. Hopefully we can turn one of these into something not like this. And 1 more to go. So let's hope the RNG gods show up for this last one. I've obviously corrupted almost all my items. There's a lot of really, really solid items here. I was really hoping for just 1 godly corruption. So hopefully this is it. Not a great base roll. And this one we got MF. So again, not necessarily what we're looking for on a wind force, and I've said this in the past. You want in general you want to prioritize clearing speed over magic find. So in this case, where we are obviously we're on wind force, we're trying to do as much damage as possible. You really want to prioritize those other better mods over magic find. Just not really what we're looking for. So here is I don't know how to say this, Halberds Rain. This is almost perfect. 3 to masteries, 3 to battle command, 3 to battle orders, and perfect PDR. The only thing that, even the other 2 rolls, the enhanced defense and the replenished life, are pretty good. Guys, if we can salvage all of this entire video with 3 open sockets on this, we'd be very, very pleased. Not feeling so hot after what's gone on so far. And we got 3 to mana after each kill. So not a great corruption. We've just got a couple items left. Cat's Eye. What we're looking for here, guys, is more dexterity or enhanced damage would be obviously the best. We're looking for 40 enhanced damage on it. These amulets, I don't know, the amulet prices have skyrocketed. High Lords with 40 ED are selling for 25 high runes. I don't really understand it, but either way, if we can get, obviously some, like a high enhanced damage roll here, that's what we're looking for. And we have bricked it. bricked it into something that's kind of interesting. But actually, this is a required level 30. This is actually kind of an interesting low level dual amulet. And guys, I've seen this once before where I've actually bricked an item into something, this isn't better per se, but that I've actually bricked into an okay item. So this low level dueling, there's a bit of a scene here that I haven't really broached, but low level duel, just to clarify for everybody here, the cap level is 30. And so 2 lightning and 10 faster cast rate is as good as it gets for PDR, for low level duel LLD. 46 to life, a bit of fire res. This is all told not a terrible LLD amulet. We do have a +3 of shooters, so here we're looking for just +1 all skills would be nice, or I guess 10 faster cast rate. So there's fire. This one's obviously the best for fire. So if we could get 10 FCR with minus fire resist, that would be pretty nice as well. But we are looking for +1 skills, which we got. So we got minus enemy poison resist, not what we're looking for. Minus fire resist would have been an okay slam, and so we're down to one last item, which isn't too godly, just the Kira's. So Kira's Guardian. This is this is a viable option for the Dragon Den. So a lot of Dragon Dens use like a 3 open socket Andes, for instance, with 3 fire facets in it. What you can do with this is get 1 +1 skill and then puzzle it for 2 and then put 2 fire facets in after that. And we got 1 socket. So guys, not what we were looking for today. We've gone through all of these godly items and we really didn't get too many good slams. This grandfather is really definitely the best thing that we got out of this. And like I said, it's really not that bad. This is definitely a viable item. I've been thinking about making a whirlwind barb to begin with, so this is something that I will keep. Obviously this was something that we were hoping for more out of. That ED indestructible mod obviously was a long shot, but it was definitely what we were hoping for. I think there was about a less than 2% chance that we were going to get that. We wanted 3 open socket on this. We got cold resist, made it useless. The Gavel of Pain, we did get enhanced damage, so next stop for this will be to puzzle box it. If we were to get 4 sockets on this, then it would be semi-salvaged. But yeah, like I said, guys, all told, this was pretty rough. You can see this is kind of the graveyard of bricked items. We didn't corrupt anything truly godly today. I don't even know if we got... this is technically a rare corruption, but it's the wrong corruption for this boot, right? And that happens all the time. So not what we're looking for today, but hopefully you guys all enjoyed this video. This has been long anticipated, and I'm really upset that I wasn't able to deliver at least, I do have one more item. Guys, don't go anywhere. This is our chance at salvation. We're likely going to brick it, as is kind of the case with everything we're doing today. But here, what we're really looking for is 10 faster cast rate would be really nice. All res, all stats, any of that would be super great. This Wisp Projector is used on most physical damage classes, especially ones that aren't like frontliners. The Heart of the Wolverine adds a meaningful amount of enhanced damage. So let's go into this very last item. Hopefully we can get one good brick or one good corruption, and we've bricked it again, boys. And that's just how today went. So I think this is a bit of a cautionary tale. Slam what you guys can afford. I think going into next season, I've definitely got a ton of great corruptions this season. I actually self-slammed a 3 open socket Tyrael's Might on my 4th try, which was amazing. I'm just going to show that on stream just to cheer myself up and hopefully cheer up everybody else after a pretty rough go here. And so I self-slammed this, guys. This is definitely my best slam of the season. So this is what it is. It's essentially gambling. I thought, obviously with the amount of items that I was slamming today, that we would do something a little bit better. But again, I'm just showing this to cheer myself up. Every time I look at it, it makes me happy. I love the Tyrael's Might, as you guys know. So next season, I mean, for everybody that slammed some good stuff throughout this season, obviously you're going into next season with pretty high hopes of slamming something godly. But early season, you're going to want to, chill, because this obviously you can see what happens on the ground. And even to watch, I started out slamming 4 windforces and I bricked all 4 in a row. And that can certainly happen. And guys, like, it's the gambler's logic of, well, I just bricked 3 things in a row. There's no way I bricked this other one. Everyone rolls independently. It has nothing to do. I mean, obviously the odds of bricking 4 things in a row is extraordinary, but each roll is independent. And when you look at it, it's every one of them has a 25% chance of bricking. So just be cognizant of that going into next season. Wishing you guys all luck. And like I said, I'm going to do a tier maker for some of the corruptions on weapons, specifically for Windforce. That's what I'm going to be doing next. The season, is kind of coming to a close, but I do feel that I have another opportunity to talk about things like PvP, do another build showcase, all that kind of stuff. So if you enjoy all this stuff, if you enjoyed watching this go terribly wrong today, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Cheers.